This might be too much for the Segway Ninebot Max G2. We're cruising around at 4 miles an hour on this incline. The brake actually just kicked in really aggressively and sent me almost lunging forward. Oh my gosh, a rabbit just ran out in front of me. All right, good morning and welcome to another glorious Sunday morning here in Phoenix, Arizona. We are at South Mountain Park, and today we're gonna see if we can get the Segway Ninebot Max G2 up to the top of South Mountain. Now, it is a 1,700-foot gain in elevation. Actually did this ride a couple weeks ago with my electric XP 3.0 e-bike. You can check the video linked above, but that bike did fabulously going up this mountain. We're gonna see if we can get the same result with the Segway Ninebot Max G2. Now, one important thing to call out about this route is that the incline is anywhere from 3.5% to 7%, so they've got some pretty steep grades. We're gonna see if we can make it to the top of Dobbins Lookout this morning. Now, in case you were wondering, I do weigh 195 pounds. I am currently driving in sport mode, and I have the speed capped off at 20 miles per hour, and I do have regenerative braking set to off. Now, it is a pretty hazy day today. There are some fires at a landfill many miles away from here, but they're definitely impacting the air quality, unfortunately. So hopefully they put those out soon, and we can get back to the nice clear air like we had a couple weeks ago. Good morning.
Good morning, enjoy.
Thanks, you too. Now, if you've watched any of my other video content, I have done 2 hill climb tests with the Segway Ninebot Max G2. Neither of those tests had gone anywhere near the kind of inclines that we're gonna see on this ride today. So it's absolutely gonna be a big test for this scooter. Now, you might be wondering, hey, where's my phone? Where's the dashboard view? Well, you know, I got a little too excited this morning and left that at home. So we don't have that, but I'll be giving you updates as we go along. And we are currently cruising around at 16 miles an hour. Nice thing about this morning is it's actually in the 70s. Things are starting to cool down here in the Phoenix area. Definitely looking forward to that fall weather, because I'll tell you what, this summer was absolutely brutal. And as you can imagine, given how steep this is, we'll definitely be testing out the brakes on the way down. Not sure yet if I'll be using regenerative braking or not. I might keep it off for this, but we'll see how it goes. And if you're curious, we're currently cruising around at 15, 16 miles an hour. And I've got the throttle lever pushed all the way down. Now, one of the beautiful things about this route up South Mountain is that every Sunday they actually close this road to vehicular traffic, which means it's only open to hikers and bikers and walkers and everybody not in a car or a motorcycle. So that's really nice because you don't have to worry about traffic behind you, you know, cars piling up as you go up or down the mountain around these curves. All right, a little bit of a downhill there, got 20 miles an hour and straight into another climb. We'll see if we can make it all the way to the top today. We are at 14, 15 miles an hour. And this is going to be one of the steeper parts of the climb. Things are definitely slowing down here. We're at 13, 14 miles an hour. And when we come around this curve up here to the left, things are going to get a little bit steeper. Now, I would absolutely consider this a stress test for this scooter, because this is basically going to be 7 to 8 miles of incline that we end up doing throughout this ride. Now, thankfully, it's a lot cooler out here than it was in July, August. Because, you know, the heat coupled with the fact that we're going up a steep incline, I'm not exactly sure that the odds would be in this scooter's favor for making it to the top. With these cooler temperatures, we might have a chance. All right, another incline here. We're hovering around 12, 13 miles an hour. Can definitely feel the power drop off. All right, we've got a little bit of a downhill section here, so that's nice. Okay, I don't know if we caught that, but the I don't know if you caught that, but the brake actually just kicked in really aggressively and sent me almost lunging forward. And that was when going down that downhill stretch. So this is behavior that I've seen with this scooter before that I've never been able to replicate, but that was absolutely aggressive braking. And to be honest with you, if you're not prepared for that, you can end up in a world of hurt. So I'm glad we got that on video. I'll definitely be reviewing that. All right, I think this is going to be the steepest part of the climb, and we are crawling along here at 9 miles an hour. And we're going to head to Dobbins Lookout here. You know, keep in mind, I've got regen brakes set to off. And so it's really surprising to see that braking, that electric braking, kick in the way it does. That shouldn't be happening. So definitely something I'm going to review after we get done with this ride today. Okay, we are still moving along 11 miles an hour. All right, and here we are at Dobbins Lookout. Beautiful thing is there's no cars because it is Silent Sunday. Normally, this parking lot would be packed. You got views of the entire Phoenix metro area. Now, it's a really hazy day, so we're not seeing much, but on a clear day, you can see all of the metro area. All right, so if you're curious, we are at 46% battery life remaining. We are on our way to another lookout up here on South Mountain. And we are currently cruising along at 20 miles an hour. One of the rare downhills on the way to the top of this mountain. And depending on how much battery life remaining, we might go up to the radio towers, but we'll see what we have left here. One thing I'm definitely noticing about this scooter is that once you approach the maximum speed, in this case I have it set to 20 miles an hour, it'll try and keep you there. So keep that in mind when going down steep hills really quickly, because that brake might kick in and you've got to be prepared for it. And it kicks in unexpectedly, unfortunately. So now if you're curious what the scooter temperature is, we are at 41 degrees Celsius. So definitely a lot lower than I would have expected on a hill climb like this. Oh my gosh, a rabbit just ran out in front of me. And that's one thing you want to keep in mind with scooters, is when something unexpected comes up, your knee-jerk reaction is to turn those handlebars, and that's a big no-no, because it's not like a bike, you know. You quickly jerk the handlebars on a scooter, you end up getting the wobbles, or at high speeds, what they call the death wobbles. And that rabbit was definitely running away from something. All right, to the right is the radio towers. Right now we're gonna head up to this other lookout. And we are climbing here 11, 12 miles an hour. Cruising along. And so far, no issues other than that strange braking behavior that we saw earlier. You know, I was going down probably 20 miles an hour, a little above that, and those brakes unexpectedly kicked in. That rear electronic brake kicked in without any input from me. So that's definitely something I'm going to be writing to Segway support about, because, you know, that just validates a lot of the things that other people have experienced with this scooter, with the phantom braking. You know, if they have a setting on this scooter that's trying to limit you to the top speed, that's particularly problematic if it's unable to do so in an efficient manner. You know, if it does this like jerky turkey brake application when you don't expect it, that could be a dangerous situation. All right, so we are coming up on our next lookout. And here we are, we made it to the top. And this is really as high as the paved roads will take you on the main routes. Now there's also a road that goes up to the tower, so we'll see if we can go take a quick ride on that. As I mentioned earlier, it is a super hazy day today, so you really can't see much of anything. Maybe a little bit of the city there in the foreground, but that's about it. You can barely make out the buildings of downtown Phoenix over there. All right, let's head to the antennas. All right, we are about 7.5 miles into this ride, and the route that we're taking now is going to take us up towards the antennas. And I'll tell you right now, that is the steeper part, so we'll see. I have my doubts, but we will see. This scooter continues to surprise me, so. All right, we are crawling along 8-9 miles an hour right now. Will we make it? We've got some steeper stuff ahead. I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna make it up this incline. We are at 9 miles an hour and slowing down quickly. Oh, I don't know if we're gonna make it. This might be too much for the Segway Ninebot Max G2. We're cruising around at 4 miles an hour on this incline. Now granted, we're at below 40% battery right now, so that's one thing to keep into consideration. Oh, we're speeding up. 5, 6, 7. All right. Looks like we made it up that steep incline, so that's awesome. All right, I think we got one more big incline. We'll see if we can make it up. All right, there's the radio towers and some clouds above them there. Definitely want to make sure I reserve enough battery to make it back to my car, that's for sure. All right, this is the last remaining steep incline. And we're moving along at 6 miles an hour right now. Are we gonna make it? That is the question. Are we gonna make it to the top? 5 miles an hour, 6 miles an hour. Okay, we made it to that little section there. Let's see if we can make it through this one. I think this one's steeper. Six miles an hour. We've got 2 bars remaining on battery. So we're somewhere around 40%. I think we're 30-40% remaining, so that should be enough to get us down this hill. 7 miles an hour. And this is the last part, 3 miles an hour. Are we gonna make it? This is the very top. We made it on the e-bike. Are we gonna make it on the Segway Ninebot Max G2? And we did. We are at the top. We made it. Absolutely fantastic. All right, we are at the top of South Mountain here in Phoenix, Arizona, and we made it all the way to the top with the Segway Ninebot Max G2, approximately 17 to 1800 feet in elevation gain. I'll confirm the numbers once we get to the bottom, but absolutely fantastic. We did have some slow parts there. Didn't think we were gonna make it up, but it absolutely powered through. All right, for our ride back down, I've got energy recovery set to weak. So we'll see how this goes. This would be a great way to test the brakes out on this Segway Ninebot Max G2. Hopefully that'll give us a little extra battery life as well to make it back to the car. All right, I just experienced a little bit of that weird braking again. We'll see if we can get it again. Okay, there's that weird braking again. There's definitely something messed up when you're going downhill and these regen brakes kick in when you're going faster than the speed limit. There's definitely an issue. All right, so I think I've got this phantom braking behavior pretty much narrowed down. If regen brakes are off and you're going down the mountain faster than the speed limit set in the app for the scooter, in this case, when I went faster than 20 miles an hour, the scooter actually tries to slow you down. It actually tries to kick in and slow you down, even with regen brake off, because on a couple occasions there, when I'm going downhill faster than the set speed limit of 20 miles an hour, the scooter started braking by itself, and not gently, pretty abruptly. So keep that in mind when you're going down steep hills. Another thing I want to bring up is if you do have regen brake on and you end up going faster than that speed limit, similar behavior. So when you're going downhill, I strongly recommend maintaining your maximum speed set in the app or below. Because if you find yourself going faster than the set speed, you could get that weird behavior with the regen brake or the electric brake in the rear kicking on by itself. All right, now we're going a little over 20 miles an hour. Let's see what happens when I release this throttle. Nothing. Okay, we're good. All right, we're at 19, 20 miles an hour right now. Haven't had any issues with phantom braking in a while now. So overall, I'm happy with this scooter. I've put a lot of miles on it, and it's been able to tackle every test that I've thrown at it. But you know, if this is a scooter that you're looking into, if you're going to be going down any steep hills that'll allow you to go faster than the set limit for this bike, keep in mind that there is some strange braking behavior that happens when you go over the limit. All right, looks like we got our bike lane back. Oh, speed bump, no thanks. All right, so there you have it. We've officially made it all the way up and down South Mountain, 1,850 feet of elevation gain over 16.2 miles on the Segway Ninebot Max G2. It actually made it up the mountain a lot better than I expected it would. There were a couple parts on especially steep inclines that I didn't think we were gonna make it, but we absolutely did. I will tell you there are some funky things that go on with the brakes when you're going downhill faster than the set speed limit. I know there's been talk of like some phantom braking that people have mentioned online. I can definitely see that being the case here. When you're going down the mountain, regardless of whether or not regenerative braking is on, and you're moving faster than the set speed limit, the scooter does try and slow you down, and sometimes that brake kicks in especially aggressively. So keep an eye out on that, especially if you're going to be using this down some steep declines. As always, thank you so much for tuning into Tom's Gadget Garage. We'll see you next time.